Hi, welcome to my channel. It's me, Akisonya Mitayo. I am super excited that you choose to learn from this channel. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create iconic logos. I mean, not any kind of logo, okay, but iconic logos, okay. All right, before we dive into exploring how to create iconic logos, I'll urge you to make sure that you give this video a thumbs up even before you start watching, okay? And then if you are new to this channel or if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do make sure you smash the subscribe button right now and ensure that your post notification bell is turned on, okay? So now, having said this, let's now get started. All right, now let's quickly understand what logo simply entails, okay? Now, you will agree with me that we have hundreds and even thousands of brands competing for people's attention on a daily basis, okay? And as a result of this, brands need to differentiate themselves visually. So this differentiation is basically achieved through brand identity design, okay? So when you think about the kind of person who made some kind of impact in your life as a person, you can probably picture what or how the person look like. The same thing is applicable to brands, okay? So logos act as brand's face, allowing people to to connect with it and remember. So the aim of logo should therefore be to create something that people can easily picture when they think about their experience with a product or a particular company or services, okay? So now you have to make sure that your logo is very, very simple, okay? And then now, having said this, now let's talk about the different types of logos that we have, okay? Now, there are different types of logos, okay, ranging from brand marks or pictorial marks. We also have word mark, abstract logo mark, mascot logos, emblems, dynamic mark, letter marks or monogram. And we also have letter forms, okay? So for you to understand the differences between these different types of logos, okay, so there's a need for you to watch the previous video that I shared, or you watch it through the link that'll be popping up on your screen right now, okay? So now having said this, now let's talk about the techniques of creating logo. There are different techniques of creating logo depending on the level of creativity of the graphic designer, okay? The technique I will use in creating my own logo might be quite different from your own techniques, okay? So, but I have three major techniques of which I'll be sharing with you, okay, in this course, and I'll be sharing the first two techniques here in this, video, while I share the next one other video that I'll be sharing with you, okay? So now let's quickly talk about the first two technique, okay? The first two technique is similar to each of our, okay? It's just by you going through, is by you creating a logo from an existing logo, okay? So that is what we are basically going to be doing in this tutorial, okay? And then the other way around is by you sitting down, then you sketch out the logo yourself, okay? So these are the two basic way, okay, of creating logo, okay? So let's quickly dive into exploring how to create a logo from an existing logo, and this is the more or less like the most simplest method, but I won't recommend it except you know how to go about it very much well, in order for you to ensure that your logo is not much more similar to the brands, to the previous logo that you are trying to make adjustments, okay? So now let's quickly dive into that and we get started, okay? Now the very first thing I have to do is to let's launch our browser. Now I have a project I want to work on, which is best stitches, okay? So now what I will just do is I will go to Google and I will search for BS logos, okay? So you see the different kind of logo template, okay, that it will give me. Like this BS is just like the initial of the brand name, which is B stand for best and S stand for stitches, okay? So that's why I search for BS logo, and it's giving me different types of BS logos that we can work with. Okay, so I'll be working with this one. I think I'll take this, then I'll also take this. Okay, so I'll be showing you how to go about it. Okay, so the very first thing that you need to do is to just download this. So I'll download it. So I'll download this, then I'll also download this. Okay, so after you finish downloading, now the next step is for you to now go about vectorizing it. That is changing the logo to something else. Okay, so now let's go into that. Alright, so after you finish downloading the image from online, okay, so the next thing you need to do is to launch your Pixellab, okay, and then once you launch your Pixellab, you delete this default text, okay, so you delete it, and then you click on your plus icon, then from gallery, okay, then you select the images, any of the images. So I'll be selecting this first, okay, so I'll select this, okay. All right, so then you crop it. So I'll crop it. All right, awesome. Then I'll click on the check mark. Okay, then you can decide to increase the size a bit more. Okay, now what else do I need to do? So I'll click on the polygon shape that we have here. Okay, all right, then you go to erase color, okay, then you remove, then you enable this. Okay, you can see that once you enable it, it removes the color white that we have on the image. Okay, so but we want the white to show, but we don't want the black, okay, which is the background. We are only interested in this BX, okay, not the background. Right, so what do we do? So we're going to click on the eyedropper tool. Okay, so you're going to select where we have the black. Okay, then you click on your check mark. All right, I can see that it removes the black from the image. Okay, so now you can see that let's work on the tolerance. Okay, so you need to reduce the tolerance or increase the tolerance further to probably like 30, because if you didn't increase the tolerance, you can see that the black is still still showing. Okay, the more you reduce the tolerance, the more the black will fade off. Okay, so I'll increase it to 30. Okay, all right, 30. Okay, then I'll click on the check mark. Beautiful. Okay, so I will click on color. Okay, then you enable the color. Okay, you can see that it changes the color to color red. So we are going to make use of black now. Okay, all right, so then we click on the check mark. Awesome. So let's take this down a bit. Beautiful. Okay, now the goal of me editing this is to create the logo from an existing logo. Okay, now this is a logo on its own, so we want to create another logo, okay, out of this existing logo. So by so doing, you have to ensure that our own logo is a bit much more different, okay, from this logo. Okay, so and how do you do that? So you can either do add something to it, or you remove something from it. Okay, so but in this video we'll be adding something to it, okay, that will make this logo to be much more different. So what are we going to add to it? So let's click on the plus icon. Okay, so from gallery, all right, so then we click on this machine. All right, so I'll make those images, I'll make them available for you guys in the resource file, so you can download them. Okay, so then you click on the check mark. All right, so what else do you need to do? So you can okay, let's first remove the background, okay, from this image. So how do we remove the background? So we go to erase color like we did to the BX, then we enable this. Okay, you can see that the background is still showing. Okay, so we now need to increase this tolerance to 50. okay, to ensure that the background is not as showing again. Okay, then we click on the check mark. Beautiful. So we are now going to change the color of this. So we click on color, then we enable it. Okay, consider the color has changed to red. Okay, then we click on, okay, let's still make it red. Okay, so we click on the check mark. All right, so what else are we going to do? So we are going to probably increase the size a bit like this. Okay, let's reduce the size. Reduce this. I'll also reduce this. Okay, so I will zoom. I need to zoom. Okay, so let's increase the size like this. Okay, so let's zoom so that you can see what we are doing clearly. Okay, so let me zoom very well. All right, so make sure you position the the machine in such a way that it will align, okay, with the BX. Okay, all right. Okay, then what else do we do? So I'm going to click on plus icon. Okay, so you click on shapes. Okay, then you click on let's change the color of this to red. Okay, so then you click on the check mark. Okay, then you reduce the size like this. So you're going to position it like this. Okay, so make sure that it maintains the same size, okay, with the size of the machine. All right, so then you are going to reduce the size like this. Okay, let's increase the size like this. Okay, so what else do we do? So you have to merge this shape, okay, and the machine. You have to merge the two of them together. So how do we go about that? So we click on our layer icon. Okay, then we select these two together, okay, to merge them together. Okay, beautiful. So what else do we do? So let me zoom out. Okay, all right. Now the next thing we need to do now is to let's click on our layer icon. Okay, so we are going to bring this up. Okay, so then what else do we do? So okay, so let's duplicate this. Okay, but before we duplicate, I'm thinking of what we can do here. Okay, all right, so next thing to do now is to click on the plus icon. Okay, then shapes. All right, then we click on OK. All right, so then we are going to reduce the size like this. Okay, then you rotate it. Okay, and see, so you rotate it like this. You make sure that it maintains the same alignment, okay, with the shape. All right, it will maintain the same alignment with this letter B, okay, with the top of the letter B. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so what else do you do? So you have to duplicate this. So you click on a pen icon and then we duplicate it. So then this also, you have to rotate it like this, and also make sure that it maintains the same alignment. Okay, so you can see, so to maintain the same alignment with the X. Okay, all right, so awesome. I think it's okay like this. So but you can see that is a kind of a kind of opening around here. Okay, so you have to make sure that the opening is what is covered. So how do we go about that? We're going to click on our plus icon, then we click on shapes. Okay, then we'll click on OK. But before we click on OK, let's change the color to red. Then we'll click on OK. Awesome. So we are going to reduce the size of this. So reduce it, and we'll position this somewhere here. Alright, so now the next thing to do now is to merge, okay, this shape. Okay, we'll merge this and the machine together. You can see that the shape is red and the machine too is red, so you have to merge the two of them together. Okay, awesome. Now, so after you finish merging, so you have to take, okay, you have to take this machine down under the two rectangle or the two shapes. Okay, so now what else do we need to do? So we have to merge the three of them together. Okay, so merge them together. Okay, beautiful. So now the next thing for us to now do after you merge them together is for us to remove the white that we have around the machine. So how do we get about that? So you click on the erase color. Okay, then you click on enable. Okay, so you can see that the color white has disappeared, but we have to increase the tolerance. So make the tolerance to be let's make it 40. Okay, this 41 is okay. Then we click on the check mark. Okay, so then what else do we need to do? So we click on the plus icon again, then shapes. Okay, and we click on we change the color to red. Then we click on the check mark. All right, so we are going to reduce the size of this like this. Okay, so reduce the size, and then we position this in between, at this point like this. Okay, then we merge the two together. We merge the shape and the machine together. Okay, in order to remove the kind of whites that we have there. Okay, all right, so we click on the check mark, and so we've merged them together. All right, so what else do we do? Okay, so let me zoom out. All right, so now the next thing to do now is to take this up a bit like this. Okay, so you can see that we've created a logo already. Okay, so now what else do we need to do? So we have to merge, we change the color of this to black. Okay, so I'll change the color of this to color black. All right, beautiful. Okay, so now as it is now, you can decide to merge the two together, but once you merged it, you can't do any adjustment to it like that, except you have to, if you want to make adjustment to it, it might take you a lot of time to get that done. All right, so I need to merge them. Let me just merge the two together. So I will merge the two together. Okay, all right, so you can see what we have now. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the size. Okay, so I think we are done with the very first logo. Okay, so let me position this somewhere here. All right, so let's move on to the second logo. So the second logo, so we click on the plus icon, then from gallery. Okay, all right, so we are going to select this. Okay, this BX. Okay, then we crop off the wanted part of it. We crop it. So all right, so then we click on the check mark. Beautiful. Okay, what else do we need to do? So let's lock this. So let's lock the previous logo that we did. So how do you lock? You click on the logo, and then you click on your layer icon, then you click on lock. Okay, awesome. So now let's move on. So now this, we are going to remove the the white background that we have on it. So what do we do? So we click on erase color. All right, so we are going to enable this. You can see that it removes the white background already, but you have to increase the tolerance to 50. All right, so you can see that we click on the check mark. Beautiful. Then you can now change the color to something else. So we'll change the color. Okay, so let's change the color to black. Okay, awesome. So what else do we do? Okay, so now I have to remove something from this logo, or I add something to it. Okay, so I will remove, and at the same time I will also add something to it in order to make it much more different from this particular logo. Okay, so let's go into that. So what do I need to remove? I can decide to use my eraser tool. Okay, so I'll use eraser. Okay, I'll click on it, then I can easily erase this part. So I'll erase this part. Okay, all right, then I'll click on the check mark. So you can see that I've deleted what we have inside of it. Okay, so but I have to erase it more because I'm still seeing some kind of dot here. All right, so I'll click on the eraser, so I'll erase this edge more. Okay, then I'll click on the check mark. Beautiful. Okay, now what else do we need to do? So I'll click on my plus icon. Okay, then shapes. Okay, then I'll click on OK. Okay, then what else? I'll reduce the size like this. Okay, so I'll position this somewhere here. Okay, very close. Okay, very close to it. So I'll position it somewhere here like this. All right, then what else? So I'll click on the layer icon, then I will merge these two together. All right, beautiful. Okay, then I have to remove this white out of it. So what do I do? So I'll click on erase color. All right, so I will enable it. Then consider the white is disappeared already, but I have to increase the tolerance to 50. All right, let's make 52, no problem. So okay, what else do we do? Okay, so we have to add something to it. So I'll click on my plus icon, then from gallery. Okay, so I'll be adding this zip to it. Okay, all right, so then before then I will have to crop off the excess of the zip, the unwanted part of it. Okay, so I'll crop them off. Okay, then I'll click on the check mark. Beautiful. Okay, then what else? So I'll remove the outline, I'll remove the background. Okay, so I'll click on erase color. Okay, enable it, then I'll increase the tolerance to 50. Okay, then I will click on OK. All right, I'm on the check mark, then I will click on color. Okay, then enable it, so you can see that the color has changed to red, but I'll change it to black. Okay, then I'll click on the check mark. Awesome. So kind of reduce the size, so I'll rotate it like this. So I'll need to reduce it more, so I'll position it like this. Okay, so let me increase a bit more. All right, so let me use my ruler. Okay, so you click on this, then we'll bring this towards this part. Okay, so I want to ensure that it aligns with all right. Yeah, so I think it's okay like this. Okay, so what else do I need to do? Okay, so I will have to erase some part of this this zip. So how do I go about that? So I'll click on my eraser tool. Okay, then but before I erase, I will need to do something. So I'll click on the plus icon. Okay, then shapes. Okay, so I'll change the color to black. Now click on OK. All right, so I'll reduce the size like this. I'll reduce it very well. Now position it in between of the zip. Okay, where I'm in the black area, okay, of the zip. Okay, then I will have to merge this shape and the zip together. Okay, all right, so you can see that has changed. Now what else do I need to do? So I have to click on my eraser tool. Okay, so I can now erase the unwanted parts. So I'll erase this part, just small. Okay, then I'll click on the check mark. All right, but I think I still need to erase it more, or better still, I rotate it like this. Okay, all right, so let me rotate it a bit more. Yep, so you can see what we have been able to do. So you can just we have to just merge the two together. So merge the two together. Okay, beautiful. So by so doing, we have created a logo already. So you can see what we have been able to do. Okay, so you can see the logo. So we've created something. Okay, we've created a new logo out of an existing logo. All right, so as soon as you're done with this, so you can change your background to something. So I prefer you change it to this transparency. Okay, so then you can see what we have done. So now you don't need to deliver, once you're done with like this, you don't need to deliver your logo like this directly to your client. There's a need for you to do what we call mock-up. Okay, but I'll not be doing that in this video because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so we are going to do that in the next tutorial. Okay, but before we go, let's quickly add some kind of text to the brand name, okay, to the logo. So click on plus icon, then text. Okay, so we're going to change the content we have there to best. Okay, best. All right, so then we click on the check, okay. Okay, so we're going to change the font. So how do we change the font? Click on this A that we have already on the text tool. Okay, then you go to font. Okay, then I'll click on my font. So I have a font that I would like to use, which is this Futura. Okay, so I'll make the font available so that you can also make use of it. Okay, so now you can now change the color of the font. Okay, so change the color. So click on color, then we change the color to black. Okay, 100% black. Okay, then we'll click on OK. Beautiful, you can see. So you can increase it more or you reduce it. Okay, then we have to duplicate this. So we duplicate it. Okay, so what do we do? So we are going to change the text to stitches. Okay, all right, then we click on OK. Beautiful. Then we reduce the size like this. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so you can add some kind of letter spacing. Okay, so you click on spacing. All right, so you space the letters. Okay, then you click on, let's make it 10. Okay, then you click on OK, the check mark, then you reduce the size like this. So that's that. So you can change the color of this to, let's change the color to red. Okay, beautiful. Okay, awesome. Okay, I think that's all we need to do. So let's merge these two together. So we're going to merge these together. So we merge the two tests together. Okay, awesome. So I think it's okay like this. So we can now duplicate it. So we can duplicate it. So we click on it, and then we click on the pen icon. All right, then we click on copy. So we position this somewhere here. Okay, I think we are done. So what else do we need to do? The next thing to do is to to save. Okay, so click on save. That will save as project. Okay, so I'll use logo. Okay, let me use best stitches logo design. Okay, to save it, then I'll click on OK. Okay, all right, so that's all. As saving done. Alright, so I think that's all we need to do in this tutorial. So in the next tutorial, I'll be showing you how to do mock-up. Okay, but before we do mock-up, I will teach you some other steps, okay, on how to create another logo, okay, aside from this method that I've showed you in this video. Okay, so later on in the in the other coming videos, I'll be showing you how to do mock-up. Alright, so if you need the resources that I use in this tutorial, okay, you can get it from the resource file link I'll be dropping in the Telegram channel, or you check the description section of this video, okay, to get the resources I used in the tutorial. Okay, thanks so much once again for watching. God bless you. Do have a blissful day. But before you go, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, ensure you subscribe now, and then make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Thanks once again for joining us. God bless you. Do have a lovely day. Bye.